Let's bring in Tamer Qarmout once more to talk through all of this. Now, as we saw in that story, it seems like the US and Israel is becoming more and more, I guess, pushed to one side by the majority of the rest of the world calling for a humanitarian ceasefire. At the moment, we are seeing the Turkish President, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, with a huge rally in Istanbul. We were talking to our correspondent earlier, and he said that there were approximately 1 million people that have turned out. Huge numbers. We've seen huge numbers in London as well in support of Palestine. Does that, I mean, apart from, I guess, as a show of solidarity, does it actually do anything for the people in Gaza? Because it does seem at this point in time that Israel and the US, to a certain extent, simply aren't listening.
Tom, yes, these developments are really positive and very much encouraged at this stage, because the streets have spoken. I mean, in different capitals in the world. This is a public awakening. This is an uprising in a way that the streets or the people all over the world are not accepting the rationality and the narratives behind justifying this brutal war Israel is carrying on Gaza now, because it went too far in the way it's being conducted. So it's, for me, it's good to see. I mean, these demonstrations happening, and the momentum needs to be kept in a. So eventually this will materialize into public pressure, a change in the political behavior of the politicians in these countries, and hopefully it brings an end to this war.
Yeah, many people now, including many world leaders, are calling for a humanitarian ceasefire. It needs to happen immediately, clearly, to help the people, the civilians inside Gaza. We've been speaking to you for the last several weeks as well about this, and you have been calling for exactly the same thing. But do you have more or less hope now, after what you've seen overnight from that bombardment with Israel and all of the rhetoric from them? Do you have more or less hope that we are closer to a ceasefire?
Tom, I mean, personally, I don't see it coming in the very near future. I still see that the US have a green light from Israel has a green light from the US to keep the pace of this military operations and even continue escalate it further. Because when we listen to Israeli politicians, they still keep repeating the same goal, which is an utter defeat and getting rid of Hamas regime in Gaza. So I didn't see the goals changing. The main goal is still the same. Now, there is a discussion on the tactics, how to achieve this goal. And this is where we see differences between the US and Israel, where the Americans say, or it seems they're not big fans of, or not in favor of a full land invasion, and they're urging the Israelis to learn from the Fallujah scenario and, Mosul scenario, and just go through tactical, surgical, military operations into the Gaza Strip. But it doesn't matter. For me, it's whether if it's tactical or a full invasion, the scale of destruction that is happening at this pace in the Gaza Strip, it's an utter disaster. So eventually, it could lead to a total implosion from within, like Gaza really imploding with the vast needs and the vast destruction. And we don't see any movement on any important file, like aid delivery, like electricity, communication now is being cut. So it seems like everything is worsening. So you see the international community is demanding and wants to see an immediate ceasefire. Even the US lecturing Israel on allowing some humanitarian corridors. But in reality, the actions of Israel is totally in a different path, in a different way. And it worries me that Israel feels it's protected and it has a green light to just keep doing whatever it's doing now.
It certainly appears that way with the communications with internet and phones being cut off about this time yesterday as well.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Thank you once again, Tamer Qarmout. Thank you.